So again, here's the deck list I'm using for spikes. The deck list is on the side here as well as on the screen, but for now we're just gonna do the one on the side. As you can see, we only have grade 3 heals because we run the Devil Summoner, which will give us another unit on board. I prefer Devil Summoner because sometimes you just need units on board and you just can't hit the draw triggers for your damn life. That's why it's there. The stand trigger is what allows us to be able to use Shoot Down King twice, guaranteed twice usually, in a second stride phase. For Frog Raiders, there's no way you can run less than 4 of this card. Frog Raider is the single reason why you can hit over literally every single defensive trigger in the damn game. I run 4 Heewees because he's just a big beater. This is just kind of nice because sometimes you just want to draw an extra card, so this is here. 4 of this enables a charge, and 4 of this because 3 of this because, you know, beat sticks. 2 stands because stands do kind of matter, but it's mostly for a counter and soul charge. Again, there's only 2 shoot down here. You don't need more than 2. If you go past 2, Jesus Christ, you're probably beyond dead or in your next game. We still run these 4 PGs because CC does not matter in this deck at damn all. This is just specifically for the charge target, which will restand Frog Raider. So I hope to show you guys here a couple of good games here. Before we get started, just wanted to let you know I'm not currently streaming right now. This is my setup, but I wanted to record this just to kind of showcase the deck. Hopefully I can get a couple good games in for you guys. So there's nothing really to say about this. This is a very glass cannony deck. This can kill on first stride, but it's definitely better on second stride with shoot down because you get at least 2 to 3 more attacks from it. Besides, oh, this is rare. This is rare. Okay, and I get second, so I have the advantage right now. Okay, this is rare. I've yet to see another spike player like this, so we're gonna keep these. I gotta throw away these 2. This is the only card I'm gonna hard greed in my hand at the beginning of the game. Okay, we're basically good. We're gonna have to ride a PG, which is a little unfortunate, but nothing about that. So he's using the Mecha Trainer build. There's nothing wrong with doing this. The only issue with the Mecha Trainer build is that you're losing out on 2 attacks. This card allows 2 attacks, but you're trading that for consistency and a little bit of shield. I don't really focus on defense because this deck's issue is consistency and defense anyway. So in my opinion, like, you shouldn't focus on things that are already gonna lose you the game. So don't focus on the things that are like, I don't mind writing this because we can search about it later because this is gonna be a bit of a slower game. That's why I did that. You shouldn't really focus on the things, you know, that you know your deck is not really that capable of. Like, don't focus on its weaknesses, just focus on its strengths. Because why are you preparing for something that is already bad? You know, even if you take out the heal guards in this case, the defense of this deck is already jack shit awful. So why focus on defense and you can just enhance the offense? I decided to ride Frog Raider instead of keeping it in my hand for this specific game, only because I know he has Mecha Trainers. He's probably gonna fetch a PG right away. He also has heal guards, which is understandable. He has heal guards, but you know, I digress. So it's gonna be a bit of a slower game, especially because normally speaking, Spike Brothers cannot commit their hands early at all. That's why Devil Summoner is kind of good here. And now we're gonna ride Devil Summoner here. I know it's a bit of a lower base, so we can ride him. And in this case, we're actually just gonna call this to the back row and not charge it. Don't invoke. We're not gonna charge it because this is actually a good setup into our final stride turn, which is probably gonna be second stride in this case because we have 2 PGs, so that's pretty good. If he decides to call out 2 boards, like 2 rear guards, I'm just gonna swing at the rear guard. There's no point to really give him more counterblast because this deck is only limited by counterblast on the first stride. Every other thing, this deck can just go off. So on first stride, you can shoot down on first stride. You 100% can shoot down on first stride, but the Soul Blast does come in handy. That's why as much as possible you want to go on second stride. And nope, there's a Bracky. So Bracky is also a really common card. It's just so that because you can get rid of a front row. Getting rid of front row is also basically the issue of this deck sometimes. So one thing that you can say about that is technically, even if you have 2 charge units in the front row, you can go into your deck and call an Axe Diver to the back row and bounce it, but technically you're kind of investing a counterblast into a play that only needed a Soul Blast. So it's just like a counterblast more heavy in cost, but I chose to not run Bracky so I can capitalize on Frog Raiders. Of course, you know, I decided to ride my Frog Raider for the sake, because I know this is going to be a slower game altogether. So we're going to match that tempo. There's no reason to really, like, go over that tempo, right? Also because I have 3 PGs here. Oh, Frog Raider, yeah. So we have to use Stride Skill on Frog Raider, which is okay. Axe Diver, okay, we're gonna ride here for sure. This is the best first stride next to Flash Bruce. I do want this card though because it allows us to bounce another card. And boom! Alright, we have that. Cool, cool. So what's gonna happen here is I'm gonna have to call Frog Raider to the rear off the stride off the skill. I'm gonna have to invest a little bit of cards in this turn, unfortunately. So I'm gonna have to invest an Axe Diver here. Actually, no, we'll invest this. We'll invest it. This is like a low quality investment anyway, so it's okay. We're gonna go to the side here, get rid of it, and we're gonna go here on the Vanguard attack. Though we have to essentially use up an Axe Diver here. We have to use up an Axe Diver so we can guarantee a Frog Raider here. There's nothing wrong with this, by the way. It's just that we're going for a bit more of a slow tempo game, so I don't want to give too much damage when I don't have to. Heal trigger. All right, we're already winning in tempo here, guys. Let's go. That's good. So in this case, I know that it's gonna be rare for him to kill me at this range, but I'm not. Should I push him? Hang on. We can probably push him for some shield now, though. So we're actually gonna push him for shield here. Normally you won't be able to do this, but this is like one of the few situations where it's actually beneficial for you to just push damage now. So in this case, I can just draw a card now to replace the card. So normally I would go further, but I'm actually gonna stop. The reason is because I can limit the amount of counterblast he does. I give one damage away for me to get a leeway. It is actually not that bad for the most. I still have an intercept, so I still have to deal with that. The first is always the weakest for this deck, and if I just chose to use this, I'm gonna lose this card right away. The only thing annoying about Bruce is that you can get to call any card from the deck. I chose to go with the other way because I'm not worried about what cards I get. I have a good enough soul. He's either going for a second strike kill turn, but I'm faster than him and I don't need to rely on Medical Manager for the soul. This card will basically solve that soul issue ASAP. We're gonna use this to send it back. He has a very mishmash deck. I'm pretty sure he's still trying to get the feel for it, which is totally fine. It took me a while to get to this build anyway, and I was still doing like the cookie cutter draw and heal build. You do need draws, but you don't really need the damn heal guards because your defense is already shit. You don't need to improve it, and really, your grade 3s are really good just charge targets. You soldier to heal. So we know at least he's not running full of dozer. That's okay. So that's gonna happen. I'm probably gonna push to 4 damage here, and 4 damage is generally enough for this deck to win. As long as I have this, we're just really good to go here. I can also confidently declare final turn next time. Again, sorry for like the Twitch, all the Twitch setups here, but I really just wanted to showcase a match of this deck. That's fine. Go to 4 here. So 4 damage, it's okay. He keeps the 1 intercept, but at this point I'm way too far ahead in everything right now, and I have 2 charge units which I can still keep looping. So I'm just gonna ride and go straight into Miracle Ace here. He doesn't know what I'm doing here or how my deck's gonna function, but I'm gonna show him, so hopefully he gets some ideas. Should I BM and go for final turn? No, we're not gonna BM or go final turn. We're just gonna do things as we are gonna do it. So use this. So what's gonna happen here is we're definitely gonna need to use this at one point, but we're gonna call this first to the side. The reason you call to the side, leave this open, and enter the battle phase. So we're gonna swing with the rear guard here. It's just all about like placements at this point, really, and go with the Vanguard. So on stride skill, we're gonna send this grade 1 into the soul, which is fine. The next thing is we're gonna have to use this. We're gonna need to use this. Gonna put this on charge. And then on this thing's charge, we're gonna have to use this to get this going now. And get this on charge as well. So just do your usual drive checks here. Heal trigger, that's good. Put every single power on Frog Raider. All power on Frog Raider, do not even hesitate on that. Alright, so we're now at 16. So what'll happen here is that I have 2 more attacks here, but I also have another attack on this side column. So what's gonna happen here is I'm actually just gonna swing with this just by itself. Trigger the PG. On this, I'm actually gonna use this to give power to my Frog Raider again, making it steroid heavy. On this, use the grade 1 to bounce the stand trigger and put it on the Frog Raider column and put it as charge. So allow us to get more attacks in, and we're not gonna invoke here. We're just gonna swing again, soul charge and counter charge. Let's go. Sentinel's gone. That's gonna go. It's gonna go for another 5k here. Give that there, and we're not gonna use the skill yet. So we're just gonna swing with this, bait out one more shield. See, but you can see I can still call, and I still had 2 calls at least from my hand to keep going. So I had 1 call from that and 2 calls. At least 3 more attacks right after this, and that's how good this deck is. Just need some fine tuning and just placement situations, and you can just glide through most games here. You can, if you push your opponent to 4 damage really early in the game, which is sometimes possible, especially because some decks don't just choose not to call any board that early in the game, then you can just push them to 3 or 4 damage, and depending on how big or how small their hand is, you can basically just shoot down king them to death on first strike. But yeah, that's how it looks like right now. It's really good. It's just basically on placement that you have to worry about and have to train yourself. Because, yeah, the placements will kill you. I've messed up a lot of times on stream today just on placements. It's stupid. We're going to maybe play 1 or 2 more games just to kind of get some more footage for this. But this is how it's looking like. So now it's more of a meta game, which is Gear Chronicle. It's going to be kind of annoying. We're going second still, so we're good. So the only thing different here is we have to use our Forerunner right away, which is a little bit unfortunate, honestly. But, you know, what can you do, right? So in this case, I might actually just straight keep this hand. I know the Frog Raider is there, but we can probably just fetch it later. Yeah, we're going to keep this hand. We don't want to overgreed, especially against this deck, where they can just target your Forerunner and Frog Raider right away. So of course you want to hold on to your Frog Raider as much as you can, but in this case where it's a detriment to really hold this damn Frog Raider, we're just gonna ride it, and as before we did on our first strike, just on our strike turn, just call it out. But in this case, the game was nice enough and gave us a second Frog Raider, so we don't even need to do that. But that's an option that we can do. Go in a battle phase, swing, maybe get a draw trigger out of this, but if not, it's okay. Having just a high amount of draw triggers is useful because, you know, if you're gonna get a damaged defensive trigger, it's more than likely a draw or a heal. If it's a stand, it is unfortunate, but we only run that stand specifically because it countercharges and soul charges during battle phase. So the only thing that you guys should know with Spike's weakness is that they can't commit their board early game. So if you commit a sideline, really, you're already winning the game for the most part. So if he commit a sideline, he would be winning the game, but unfortunately he did not. So it'll be more of a standardized game where it's more equal chances, but I can't commit any board because I need to retain them in hand. Oh, 2 GGs are gone. Okay, so most of his draw power is gone now. That's pretty good. Unless he runs 3 GGs, which would be like, what the fuck? Why would you run 3 GGs? I don't think I can push him that hard on my first stride, but his first stride's also dog shit doo-doo, so we're fine anyway. So I'm probably gonna go to 3 damage here, but he might heal down to 1 damage, which is also okay in this case, because this deck doesn't really care about, for the most part, doesn't care about defensive triggers. Yeah, heals down to 1. This is usually fairly common in higher ranks too. Very common for people to heal down to 1. It's nice, but it's not that needed for us. As long as we keep the PG, we should be good. We're gonna ride this for sure. We're unfortunately have to say goodbye to Hive Maker at this point. In this case, though, I'm also gonna call. I'm gonna call it a Bruce because I don't want to call a card from my hand, but I also want to gain some draw power here. And call, and we're gonna do Bruce. So we're gonna draw a card here. Oh, another Frog Raider. That's really good. So we're gonna use this first. See what we get. Oh shoot! Hell yeah, bro. Normally this isn't that You usually don't get this a lot, but when you do, it's actually really good. So we're gonna Soul Blast this. We're gonna bounce this grade 2 and put it behind Frog Raider. And there we go. We got a really good board for literally no cost, which is stupidly good. And now we can use Frog Raider again next turn to actually reset off this, which is really stupid. And we're gonna commit the one Frog Raider because it's very rare for this to actually happen too. We're gonna go into battle phase here. This has to hit Vanguard for it to really work, but we can use this to hit the side column, send it back. Send it back, and we're actually gonna bounce the Frog Raider again. I'm gonna bounce the Frog Raider into the other column, and we're just gonna do a bit of like a shuffling thing here. So this is a lot of resources right away, but I'm also just committing to the resources here. Call this to the front row so we get another intercept or another reason from the bottom deck stuff, and we even get a grade 1, which is nutty. So swing right away, and we're gonna swing unboosted because we can use the Frog Raider for a different reason. Boom. And now with Flash Bruce, we are not gonna use the skill because our hand's still good enough for setups. Ooh, that's good. There's one beauty about this card. So it allows for plays like that to happen, which is stupidly good. And now with this, we can put a card from our hand into our soul. We're just gonna soul charge this, honestly. And what we're gonna do here is we're gonna find this. Finding this is good because we get to refund the resources and set up for our second stride turn, pushing him all the way to 5 damage. If he goes for Mystery Flare here, that's fine, but I'm doing this on purpose here. So we can just set up. Now we still have 2 damage. We still have 2 damage to work with. Hopefully we get a defensive trigger. Did I need to go that ham? Maybe not. But I decided to go for a bit more of a ham tactic here, so that if he's a higher damage, it also means I need less resources to kill him. That being said though, for the most part, if you can do something like this, don't push him past 4 damage because he might Mystery Flare. Mystery Flare, yes. Mystery Flare usually for Gear Chronicle is the best option because this has like a 50% chance of working on Counterblast 4. But the issue is that they have to not heal down. In this case, he has 2 heals down, so it's very unlikely for him to even heal down, to be honest. But he can't use any rearguard skills. Oh no, he can. This one actually just counter charges, it's fine. So if he heals down, it's unfortunate for him, but yeah. That's a draw trigger, which he'll put the Steam Breath here. And a critical trigger. Ooh, that's unfortunate for me. This might be a 1 that we lose here. For draw triggers and heal trigger here, maybe? Heal trigger, alright. We get to heal down too, that's really good. So this line's shut off and he has to use Mystery Flare to even make anything out of this turn. Nope, he didn't get it. Okay, we're good. It's at 50-50, honestly, at that point. If he pushes me to 5, he just straight dies. Okay. Well, he couldn't even push it to 5, right? Because of that line. And we're just gonna... this is the final turn, no matter how you slice it, dude. There's no way he can actually recover from this turn. Because I have a Frog Raider on board, and there's no way he can actually do much more on this turn. The only difference now is we're gonna use this first. I will actually use this on here. Activate skill. Oh, that's Adobe right there. That's actually pretty good. Yeah, we're gonna retire this. That's fine. It just thins out the deck a little bit more. It's nothing that urgent. It just thins out the deck. And we're just gonna call another Adobe back here. And we're gonna call another Adobe here, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, we're gonna call another Adobe. We'll call another Adobe. My soul is 3. Now there's open to another Adobe. So we can just go like this. And we can go like this. Swing to the side here. Swing to the side here. He gets a heal trigger, which is okay as well. This goes above the deck. This activates this now. We're not gonna invoke it yet. And now we're actually gonna swing with Vanguard here. The reason is, so now we can shove a card in the soul here. We're gonna shove Frog Raider here. So allow us to actually get this out now. Puts it in charging. Puts this in charging, and now we get to Soul Blast this and bounce this card. and call it as charging, which is the only thing we needed to do. We just needed to charge. We're not gonna invoke here. Stand trigger, which is good, but not needed. Boom. It's 31. This is still a 31k line, but in this case, I'm actually gonna do this. 31. This will get sent back. For this one, I'm actually gonna do this and put it there, and we're not gonna use it yet. We're just gonna go for another 31k here. And now we're gonna go for this one. Give it power here. Two Soul Blast. And now we get to call this now. Standing this rear guard. Hitting charge. Making the numbers matter when it matters. And connecting this last attack. A little bit messy there, but again, you can see how like just it flows really well. Really do. I'm really happy with how this deck turned out. You have no idea how long it took me to testing to do this. I'm like, fudge, bro. If it is a game where we're going first, it'll show you how hard it is when it goes first, or at least in certain matchups it is. If there's a Link Joker there, I'm gonna cry, dude. Alright, another Gear. Wow, just going Gear Chronicles non-stop. Well, I guess Gear Chronicles is also one of this deck's worst matchups, but we get to go first this time. But this Gear Chronicles is also one of this deck's worst matchups because it's one of the few decks that can actually remove. We're gonna keep this. That can actually remove our Forerunner, and our Forerunner is one of our key playmakers. It just extends again like 2 attacks, so we're losing 2 attacks basically on our kill turn. In this case, we get. This is like my 1 tech. This card does kind of count, so we can just soul charge. Oh, that was a layered and a half. We get to ride this and call another unit on board. Hopefully, we get a grade 2. It's also not bad riding this because if they hit you, they just give you more damage. So it's not bad. Oh, that's a grade 1. It make it sound like this deck has a problem with losing rear guards. I mean, it probably does, but it's kind of funny. Oh, we got a grade 2. Okay. So we're just gonna call it to the back row. We're not gonna put it on charge. We call it to the back row so that we have an offense for next turn. Again, this deck has an issue with making board, so we're just gonna make sure we have a good amount of board. And we're not gonna put this in the front row because it's kind of redundant. If it hits, right, like both attacks can hit, but if he hits a defensive, it's gonna shut down anyway. So I'll go the safe route and just keep it in the back row. Also, I guess that is. The sound has been really low, huh? Sorry about that. I forgot I muted the sound a little bit earlier. Oh, no, you get more sounds for the last game. Oh, really? Oh, okay. He doesn't have Chrono Jet. Oh, he has Bali. Alright. Doesn't Bali re-ride, though? Yeah, it does re-ride, but I guess you don't want to ride with Bali. Because you're wasting a turn, right? At least now we get 2 clean hits in, so we're gonna ride. Let's move this up. Go into battle. And we get 2 clean hits in at least. At least he'll go to 2 damage guaranteed. 1 heal, awesome. He's at 19, I'm at 19. Get a draw trigger here. Or not, it's okay. Oh, I forgot this Toon Guard. Nice. And punching further in here. I guess a draw trigger. Alright, so that depends right now. Our hand's not looking that bad, but again, we only have 1 kind of Guardian here. So it also depends on how much damage he pushes me to. If he pushes me to 5, I think we can kill him. We have a really good hand for killing him. The only thing is that we have to actually get a Hive Maker off the... we have a really good hand for killing him. If he doesn't bottom deck this. If he bottom decks this, then we gotta take it a little bit slow. Bro, you have a Chrono Jet. I saw you at it. If this is my hand now going second, I'll 100% commit a lot of pressure to try to end them first try. Normally though, when it's this, the stride skill usually goes to the grade 2. Sekai Lost Age. Lost Age is also bottom decks, right? Oh, he's not. Oh, he's even giving me. Oh, lack of intercept. Saucy. All that being said, this will get bottom deck, which is unfortunate. Okay, I'm going up to 4 damage though. Interesting. Oh, heal trigger. Now we can actually go slower. This will send that to the bottom, which is okay. I'm debating if I want to go very aggro or just go slow with this. The odds of him killing me next turn are kind of high though. I do have a plan. I do have an idea though. I do have an idea. If his turn will actually end. Because this is actually 3 damage is usually not enough for you to loop anything, to be honest. And I have 3 cards in soul. Is this turn just gonna time out? Like, wait, what are you thinking about though? Like, is it just because he doesn't want to end turn? I don't think there's any like delayed triggers. Well, I guess his turn is gonna end no matter what now. Okay, cool. Alright, so we're gonna ride skip, and we're just gonna stride. We're gonna take it a bit slow then. We're gonna stride into Flash Bruce. There's a reason I want to stride into Flash Bruce. Okay. So in this case, it doesn't matter, but I'll call Frog Raider to bait. I'm gonna shove in the soul. Sure, just grade 1. And I'm actually gonna call out the PG. Charge. We still heal down as well, so that's good. Now we just bounce the PG back. Well, even if he mystery plays me, I'm gonna be okay here. We're not gonna do anything like that, just gonna do this. He does heal down though, so he can mystery play me next turn. I will use this skill though and kinda add it back to hand. I'll get rid of Dobby here. I'll get rid of Dobby. We still have 2 stands left in deck, and honestly, I just want to make sure I can live next turn. So this is the one disadvantage of going. Hopefully, he doesn't just time out again. That'll be sad. Okay, good. He's not gonna time out. But this is the one disadvantage of going first. Your plays are usually very limited. Jesus Christ, he doesn't like my rear guards. He's like, nah, fuck you, Cronus command. I would just went for Mystery Fight, to be honest. I mean, unless he doesn't have any grade 2s that can bottom deck stuff. He has Glimmer. Why did you go to Cronus command? Oh well. I'll never know. At least he has 2 lines that can hit now. Ow. Ooh, that's another Hive Maker. Do I have another Hive Maker? I have 1 more Hive Maker in the deck. Well, technically I can go for a Cattle Blast Heavy Play next turn. Oh, he heals down. That's his last heal, right? 3 heals. So he has 1 more heal left, but he has 3 heals in play. Okay, so ride skip here. We can definitely kill him from here though. I'm not that worried about killing him. So we get... Oh, we get Acrobat Verde though. That's a good Soul Trash target at least. Alright, call the Frog Raider here. I'm gonna call this grade 2 right here. I'm gonna call this grade... I'm gonna call this. Take out a card in Soul. And charge. Go into battle phase now. Swing. Swing. Goes to bottom deck. Activates skill. There's no point to invoke that right now. We're gonna swing here. So on attack here, we're actually gonna shove this into the soul here. And actually go for a Axe Diver. I'll go for this actually. Heal down, which is like also a bit of a problem, but oh shit, that's really good though. I have 4 soul now, which is hoggers. That's his last heal. Does he have all 3 of his PGs in hand though? That's 1. Doesn't really matter power-wise now. Charge! It's also why the charge PGs are really good. You don't use them really for defense. It's nice, but they're mostly just attack extenders. Does he have 1 more PG in hand though? If he does, then he wins straight up. I don't think there's any way I can really recover from this after this. Boom! Connected. Connected. Woo! Pretty good. So yeah, that's the deck showcase. I hope you guys like it, and I hope to see you all again in the next little Cardfight Vanguard 0 deck showcase I do. Anyways, have everyone a good evening. Bye bye now.